Christina Bobb, former Trump attorney. All right, Christina, we have not seen the aggression that we've anticipated from the DOJ. Like, where's the Epstein client list, the JFK files? What about holding J6 people accountable for deleting evidence, challenging the pardons of Joe Biden now that we have the auto pen investigation? Vindman, he didn't get a pardon. Who's investigating him for participating in an impeachment that was garbage? We got lawfare, we got Fannie Willis, all this stuff. Where are they at?
I love that question. I think it's a great question. I'm still holding out hope. It's still a very young administration. We're not even 2 months into it yet. I think Pam Bondi is still trying to wrap her arms around everything. We've seen, as you've mentioned, the Epstein files have been hard for them to access, apparently. They haven't even been able to get their hands on them. Right. And so I think they're still just wrangling this rogue department that has felt like they've had no oversight. And now they're angry that they actually have oversight. So I do think it will come. But yeah, I would have loved to see day one, indictments fly. But I do think it'll come.
I was hoping for an announcement. I was hoping he was going to tell us who killed JFK today. I honestly was. All right. So but conservatives are getting swatted. OK, this is a crazy thing. This happened to Joe Pags, who was on with us yesterday. He's also Sean Farash, who was also on with us yesterday, got it too. More than people that we need to know about have had this happen to them here on this network, and they get home and they get swatted. These people who are calling this in, do they want us killed? Because eventually, I hope not, but eventually someone might try to defend their home and get accidentally shot.
Yeah, this needs to be treated as an attempted murder, because that's effectively what it is. Because anybody who sees someone armed coming up to their home, certainly conservatives who likely are armed and have the ability to defend themselves, this could create a murder situation. And one of the cases, there's been so many of them recently, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them was actually called in as someone who was trying to commit death by suicide, meaning they were hoping the police would come and shoot the person. So yeah, it needs to be investigated as attempted murder. I think that there's been way too many of them, and they need to figure out, if they can't figure out how to track these calls and trace the people, they need to figure out how to change their internal protocols to make sure that they can go back and get these people later.
But the other thing, too, is they were identifying J6ers, people who didn't even go into the building. They were coming to their house a year and a half later and arresting them because they identified them by their earlobe or something like that. You can't find the people calling in SWAT team. Whatever. I mean, it's the government. All right. So more than 50 universities now are facing federal investigations as part of this, Trump looking into the way they do DEI. Now, Education Secretary Linda McMahon said, quote, students must be assessed according to merit and accomplishment, not prejudiced by the color of their skin. We will not yield on this commitment. But, the Trump administration, they mean business on this. But they had to cut $400 million from Columbia for them to finally suspend someone.
Yeah, well, hopefully it will work. I mean, what more can they do, right? And the whole point of what the Trump administration is trying to do is to get the federal government out of education. And so it's a little bit of, a chicken and the egg scenario. How much pressure do you put on them from the federal government while also trying to separate them from the federal government? Yeah. So it's a hard challenge to overcome, but thankfully they're tackling it.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. One, how about the rule of thumb is if you are growing an endowment with billions of dollars in it, tax-free, by the way, because they're all nonprofits, you should not get $400 million from the government.
That's a novel concept that it's shocking to see. And I noticed your last guest said the same thing. That why weren't we doing this before? Why is this the first time someone's looking into this? And I think that's what's most shocking to people is wait a second, $400 million. It's not like it was $1 million, which in and of itself is bad. $400 million. So the fact that the Trump administration, along with Elon Musk and his team, are looking into this and curtailing it is great, but it's also a little bit, shocking to the system going, holy cow, how long has this been going on and why didn't we fix it sooner?
Well, I've been saying for years that if you want to do a spending bill, if you want to do any bill in Congress, you should have to stand up there and read the things that you want. Be like, I want $100 million to transgender mice in, whatever-istan, and I think that's a good idea because of why. And put that on blast. But yet they're giving money to these colleges for no reason, and kids are coming out dumber than ever before. What is the process to get? Can the House just vote to get rid of the Department of Education in this next spending bill? They promise to make these cuts.
Well, the Appropriations Committee certainly can not appropriate funds to whatever programs they want, right?
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.